Hey guys, if you're seeing this video, it's because you're trying to remove your front A2 fixed sight off your barrel, as well as you're having problems getting the delta ring off. I can tell you from experience, it sure looks easy when other people are doing it. I'm going to tell you what happens when things don't go as easy as you see in the videos. To start with, I'm going to tell you some do's and don'ts. Like I said, you can check the other videos. They're pretty self-explanatory, but this is what happens when things don't go as planned. Well, there's my Spikes Tactical AR. Initially, when I tried to get the front pin out, I used a piece of wood on the floor, and I used varying sets of punches. The punches aren't the problem. These are $13 at Home Depot. I used the biggest one first to get it flush and get it moving, and then I went to the one that fits to try to get the pins out. They are tapered, but like I said, I'm not going to rehash what other people have already said. This one right here, the first one came out pretty easy. Just using it on the board, etc., etc. Now, the second one, that damn thing was welded in there. At least I thought it was. And I used various implements of destruction, like a 4-pound steel hammer. It's a masonry hammer, but quite honestly, it works because most of my tools are at a renovation site that I have going on right now. So I used what I had. When I couldn't get that out, I decided to call around, look at videos, etc., etc., etc. And quite honestly, it told me the same thing. What finally worked was I made a little stand and I went to my little steel vise. Now, when you're doing carpentry and framing or hitting a golf ball, it's not so much how hard you hit it, it's that you hit it square. If you don't hit a 3.5-inch nail into a board, it's going to bend and it's not going to work out so good. Believe it or not, let me take some light off of it. I set it up as so. This was the pin that I was having problems with. And then I went, and like I said, used the big punch first, and I took my hammer, used the big punch first to get it flush, and then I used the small punch to knock it out. Believe it or not, it did not take as much striking force as you think. So just get your barrel situated like that. I think it's due to the fact that it's on the hard metal surface. The pin has to be able to go down the side, but as you can see, I was able to get it off. So now let's do some do's and don'ts. Okay, so let's get rid of the front A2 sight. It's off. All right, it's off. We don't need to go any further than that. Okay, now the delta ring. See videos on the delta ring and getting that sucker off. Okay, as you can see, I finally got mine off. I'm replacing it with a free float system, and man, that thing was a bear. Here's what you need. Highly recommend you get, I don't know, $20, $30 upper vise block. This thing actually did a great job because I tried using other options such as a golf shaft vise, and it worked pretty good to get the flash hider out, but quite honestly, it kept spinning. So definitely get yourself one of the Wheeler Delta Series upper vise block. It's worth the money, and it's reusable. Okay, now you got the vise block, you got your barrel and your upper in the vise. I torqued and torqued and torqued to try to get this little bastard off, which it's a delta ring. Okay, it's fine and dandy. I went and bought this piece of equipment, which is a Wheeler combo tool. Okay, don't waste your money. This thing is a flat-out joke, and I'll show you why. The Magpul's about 75, 80 bucks, okay? And you can buy, but I'd recommend the Tapco, because to get this thing off, it has those two lugs that secure in the little sprockets. Now, the Tapco has 3 lugs, which is probably going to give you better support, because as you can see, looking at this, it's missing some teeth. It sheared them right off because there's only 2 lugs versus 3 on the Tapco. Okay, now what do I do? Because this thing here is a piece of junk. I'll be dealing with Wheeler because it's going back. And since I won't be using it again, since I'm installing a free float system that has its own wrench, that thing's going back. So if you can borrow one from somebody. I tried with a breaker bar attached to it, and once again, that thing seemed like it was welded on there. Don't waste your money on that. So, we went progressive steps of discipline to get that daggone thing off. I went with the channel locks. It slipped. I went to a 14-inch pipe wrench. Couldn't get enough still to get it off. I went to the Big Brother. I went to a 24-inch pipe wrench. It got it off. And like I said, this thing's a piece of junk. It's not usable anymore. So anyway, a couple other things to consider. Everybody seems to like to put Loctite on stuff. Well, I can tell you what. I am not putting any kind of Loctite on the threading on my upper. Instead, it's more important to use an anti-seize agent, and this is what I use to put like exhaust bolts into engine blocks. I use it on my shotguns for the choke tubes so they don't seize up in there. Because if I need to get the other Delta ring off, I do not want that thing to be a chore like it was getting the OEM Delta ring off. So anyway, anti-seize, you can pick it up at any Napa store, AutoZone, whatever. It's just basically keeping stuff. And obviously, when you put this stuff in a exhaust manifold, it gets quite hot, so that it's good, it's decent for the heat. It won't seize up. And I'm going to put that on the Delta ring bolt, as well as the flash hider. Okay, there's no reason to put Loctite on it. These things are torqued down, especially with the flash ring. It has a gasket on it that keeps it in place. So, strongly recommend using the anti-seize versus Loctite. Anyway, guys, good luck, and like I said, get yourself an upper vise mount, vise block. It's worth it. And stay away from its counterpart, which is the combo wrench. Piece of junk. Anyway, hope that helps. Good luck getting it off, and thanks for watching.